I said mayhaps.
There is May. There's also mayhaps.
It's the month of mayhaps.
It's not even. No.
May have.
Not even no. No.
It's not even no.
It's not even no. Okay.
It ain't.
Does that mean it's yes? It's not even no.
Hello, hello, Black Frost.
Hello.
Welcome to yet another First Impressions video.
Wow, the simulation is breaking down.
Who's simulating what now?
I don't know. You sounded like a robot there.
You sounded like a robot there.
That's not good. I hope
Did
I'm
I
coming
sound like
through.
a robot there?
No, neither of you sounded robot-y, which is good because the audio is being captured on my side of things. So hopefully everything's okay for the viewers.
It's not as
No,
fun
I
as.
thought you were intentionally doing a bit, to be honest with you.
No, that would have been much more fun.
To think that Paul is just terribly auto-tuned is much more humorous for me at least. It's yeah.
Of course it would be.
Someone is like trying to do a remix right now as he's talking.
Live action remix.
What do you care in Black Frost? I'm sure we'll ask other jackasses as they come in.
As we
Mainly
do.
because I know who's in the chat. Don't you? Even if Cal pops up, I mean, status quo for the night, right?
Indeed.
Super freak. That's per usual. Yeah,
As per usual.
never a bad option.
Matt's got a super freak. Never the wrong choice.
I was carrying my super freak this week. It is abused. Oh, I cut food with it. Is it rusty? No. Oh, no.
Nope.
That was tape.
I hope you cut tape after you were done cutting food and
Oh,
not
who knows?
tape before food.
It's a mixed bag.
It's not great.
That's not
definitely
great.
Not. That is, as the kids say, suboptimal.
Is that what the kids say nowadays?
That's what they say.
Hmm.
It's very
I thought it was
suboptimal.
sus.
Well, that's also pretty sus, but it could mean two things. Why shouldn't it?
Fair. Fair point.
What are you carrying, Dennis?
Have we went in full circle? Do I have to go first again? You
have to go, but
sons of bitches. Well, I've been
You can-
searching for them, and I don't know if it's exactly the one that I want to like settle with at the moment. But there's a particular Spyderco that came into my possession, and I will continue to hunt said Spydercos until I find them. But the one I'm carrying tonight is the Copa
yeah,
in the squash bone.
The old squash bone.
Hey man,
That's a good looking
Sometimes-
squash bone.
sometimes you just got to squash bone it up. It's, yeah.
Indeed.
squash that bone. Also, that looks like a carved yam. Like it looks very juicy. It's kind of cool.
It was the bone of the yam, sir. Come on, it's yeah.
Yam bones.
Yam bone.
That's one bony yam right there.
Oh, not my favorite sentence to have been part of, but
So yeah, if you don't know, the Spyderco Copa was only a limited edition thing. They made I don't know how many versions, 32 versions, 16 versions, 19 versions. I don't know. I'm just making up numbers now.
more than 12? That's insane.
Yes, it was
Holy
definitely
shit.
more than 12 versions of. They did a sprint run a couple years ago. It was highly overpriced. I will not participate in a stainless steel only handle because they all had different handles, except the last one that they charged you stupid amounts of money for. I was going to look it up. I am going to look it up, but someone else can go, and I will circle back to that.
Cool.
Do they make a mother of pearl?
Oh yeah, and they made
That's
a
the right choice.
black pearl, and they did an abalone shell, and they did a coral, and they did a giraffe bone, and they did so many nice ones. And squash bone is like
It's nice.
it's not top 10 for me, but I got my hands on a Copa for a third of the price of what it should be, so I bought one.
I've yet to
I
see
know,
a
but-
variation of Copa even in passing that didn't look good though. Except for maybe the stainless version. It looked very blah.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I was shitting on that version, not the squash bone.
$179 American for the all stainless steel handled one.
That's more money than anybody should spend.
That's too much goddamn money for VG10
Especially
or
on
Oz
a
8
knife
still.
that is it's VG10 and always has been.
Okay.
They've always
Okay.
been VG10. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I thought maybe it was like some of the Jin 2 stuff or not. Yeah.
you'll be interested to know here, Joe. The blade thickness is 3 mils on a Copa.
Really?
Yeah. So like,
Huh. That's
she's a tank, dude.
that's chunky for a knife that size. Yeah.
That's surprising.
For
Wild.
something that small. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to focus because it doesn't like me.
Kinda.
Oh,
Have you sliced
over it.
anything with it?
No. You're doing it wrong, Paul.
No, I'm just asking because I'm curious as to how it slices because of that grind, thick spine.
Yeah, probably not as good as my Dragonfly. I'll tell you that much for
that's
a
exactly what I'm gonna
similar
compare it
size
against.
knife. Yeah,
I was
for
gonna
sure.
say, what do you mean? Probably the Dragonfly is gonna cut circles around that thing. What's
Just
the
wanna give a
stock
quick
thickness
shout
on
out
a? Oh,
to CPM, Dick Richards, and Stanson 357 for joining us in chat. Hello, what are
Cheers.
you carrying?
Cheers.
Indeed. Sorry, go ahead.
He was asking me stock thickness on a Dragonfly. He hadn't got the words out yet, but that is what he's asking me right now.
yes.
Just
100%.
just looking it up, it's a 2.5,
Yeah, so that's
but
pretty decent. Yeah.
full flat at a wait. Where is it? There. Oh, Jimmy Kogo. There we go. Yeah, full flat. Not
Yeah.
the thinnest in the world, but with the amount of real estate it has to taper, makes it pretty good. And I'm sure that actually you probably like it's same idea with the Copa. It's got enough taper, and they even convex eat it. So maybe I should baton with it.
There you go.
That's exactly what that means. Hell yeah.
That's what they're encouraging with that particular knife.
Nice
Also,
spine will split the wood real good. That's fine.
of course. Also, side note, they made 17 of them. I did a quick count. They did
Cool.
16 on the original run, and then they added the one more boring as shit one at the end there. CPM, the Natty Amore Mini Opiate.
That's a lot of words.
That's yeah.
The Natty Amore is the gentleman, I believe, that does the sabotage.
Listen,
Natty Amore, Black Snow Custom, maybe. I could be wrong. And a mini opiate is just a little bit of an opiate. It's not a full opiate. So yeah.
You don't say.
Well, I had to clarify. I could be wrong on both fronts, and I probably am. But yeah, anyway.
That's right. Dick Richards is carrying his cat's K300 Lion's Cub.
Nice.
There's an S in there somewhere.
Mhm. Well, it takes more than one lion to make a cub. So
That
True
we know
facts.
of.
it's that we know of. What do you know?
That's all I know. Like I said, that's what we know.
That's
I've got into a
Dude,
bad
if
habit
they
of
learn
throwing that in
clone,
at the
we're
end of sentences.
So hosed.
Yep. I
Like,
guess.
Imagine how drastically different your life would be if walking to work you had to worry about lions.
Yeah,
That's
I
all I'm
wouldn't be.
saying.
I mean, as someone
I
who just
wouldn't go
loves
outside.
cats, I'd be pretty into it. But also, as somebody who likes not dying, I'd also be kind of afraid.
Because I'm gonna want to pet them. That's my problem. See,
We're on the
Well,
same page.
I'm just gonna get a Rhodesian Ridgeback or 3, and then hunt some lions because that's what those dogs were raised for. So
Hey.
there you go.
You leave
side
those-
note.
You leave those kitties alone.
Educational side fact. What? Leave those Rhodesian Ridgebacks alone.
No.
It's a healthy looking dog, for the record.
Mm-hmm.
Chase down the lion. It's cool. That's cool.
That is pretty badass. Yeah.
Yeah, the Maasai. Yeah, those are the guys that take the dogs. Is the Maasai tribe in Africa, and they take Rhodesian Ridgebacks.
EDC spears and swords.
Where's my Assegai? Black Frost? Why haven't you answered that? Like, not even 1 week have we got that answer from him. I tell you.
Yeah, no. EDC Assegai. This is what I live for.
Scout Carriot.
Indeed.
I don't think you want to live in that world as much as you claim you do.
Not even a little bit. Nope. Not even kind of.
All right, someone else go. Although this picture, and by the way, lilies.
Yeah, I was gonna say the color contrast is it's quite nice. I'll go next. It's made it 3 weeks. CRKT M16. Yeah, this thing's just been hanging around. It's been pretty great. I feel like I can detect just the slightest hollow grind on this. I don't know if it really is. I haven't checked like a flat edge or anything concrete yet, but it cuts real well. They did a fantastic job with this.
So I was going to say, for 3 weeks in a row, you better come up with a fancy freaking picture. And I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
I was gonna say I don't hate this one. I like it.
It's the average Pokey Factor enthusiasm. I got to go with it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Can't be higher than that. I've got standards. God damn it.
So,
of course,
is the light fuzzy on the keys, or are they just like spots worn in?
They're actually through the camera. They look fuzzy like that.
Okay.
I think it's because it was a little bit darker in the room when I took it.
Okay.
There might be a very small amount of. No. I think it might just be the camera. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were wearing it through your keys or something.
Ben,
No.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. I'll get a chance to say hi to you before you can be all dickish about the whole thing. Anyway.
There you go.
Absolutely.
I'm going to break up with him before he gets a chance to break up. I mean, wait.
No, you said what you said.
And now we all have to live with it.
Yeah. True facts.
So
I'm off the market.
So is it staying together? Has it finally decided that it likes to be one unit? Your knife.
that likes to. Oh, yeah, the permanent thread locker is doing its job. Doesn't seem to be backing off. I'm not looking forward to having to do any kind of internal work aside from applying oil every now and again. But so far, so good. Nothing's shaking loose. Spring is keeping its tension and strength, it feels like. It's not really slowing down.
Did anyone else pick up on the not having to do any internal work saying there? Okay.
Yeah.
Continue on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you can see the spring in the picture just kind of hanging out there. I can go
Your
in with
internals are showing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, my insides are on my outsides.
My insides are on my. What are you? One of those Helix knives from Wii? I tell you.
Oh. You know, I still kind of want one of those, but they're so fucking expensive.
Like, how many times are you going to warranty it? Like, every time?
Every time. Every time you open it, sounds like a fucking M1 Grand. Just the springs. Just ping off. Oh,
you buy the knife and it comes with 50 spares.
You have to reload your knife every single time. Holy shit.
It's just in and out of the pocket. I don't know what they think they're going to do to make that knife have any sort of longevity, but
like the spring design isn't even bad, but doing it on the outside of the knife is such an odd choice. Check
they
out
made their choice.
They, yeah. I was hoping they would continue with those types of springs and that type of design, but they just did the one-off kind of concept.
Anyway, Paul, your last.
Last and kind of the subject of tonight's conversation.
Hell yeah. That's the face I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna Nigel the shit out of this knife now just because you bought one.
I'm okay with it.
No, it's I'm not. I mean, maybe 30% Nigel. This one,
I told
it's-
Paul I got nitpicks about that knife, but I don't disagree with him buying it. But I got nitpicks.
man, it's something.
It really is. And you'll notice there's something distinctly not in my photo. That being that weird ass Tanto thing going on. But that's going to be reground and sharpened.
It's
out.
reground.
Who's gonna do it?
M671-761.
Me. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it and probably never get around to it.
671.
Cool, dude. Cool.
Yeah. Cool story, bro.
Just put it through the pull-through sharpener a few times.
I mean, as you're starting to work on it, maybe I'll just put an anthem clip in between you and the knife, and it'll get done then instead, and then you can move on to this one. Genuinely, it's right here.
Oh, so mean. So mean.
Don't ask me how many projects I have. Jeez, good lord.
There's always a point in the project where it's like, okay, any step forward from here can be the end of this project immediately.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
Getting past that point sometimes is more difficult than others.
Yep. Okay. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this shit.
The meaty potatoes.
So meaty.
So what do we want to do with it? Like 2.75-inch blade? That type of shit? You know?
Give it some basic stats.
3.5 ounces on a little right hand only screw you type of knife, you know?
Yeah. Let's do a size comparison so you get a sense of scale here. Let's do the channel regular first. The Dragonfly. Yeah, like that is the saying. Not a big knife. Kind of small.
And CPM's comment about Ruike is inferior to Reich. Yeah, I think Ruike knows that they're inferior to Reich. I don't think there's any skeletons in the closet on that one.
I don't think there's any crossover. I don't think there's much competition directly between the two companies.
No, when it comes to ethics on Reich and, you know, whether they stole a scabbard design or not. Anyway, conversation for a different day, probably.
Amongst other things. But yes, we probably should have that conversation at some point.
Paul?
Quite.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say that, I mean, for the price that you're paying for this, it's not in the same ballpark.
We should probably talk about the price before we get too much further into it, because Ruike.
What do you mean you want to talk about the knife that we actually came here to talk about?
A little bit.
I tell you.
Keep trying to steer into it, but so Ruike, whatever. They try to be a budget brand most of the time. This, I think, still is along those lines, but you are dealing with more premium materials. It's a 154 cm blade, although that is rapidly becoming a budget steel, which I'm happy to see.
Okay. I'm going to dive into this because it's going to come up in a couple different conversations right off the bat. So the budget version of this knife was using 1428 Sandvik.
Yes.
Yeah.
How much of an upgrade? 1428 Sandvik is 154 cm.
You're jumping to an American-made steel. That's where
it's not a CPM.
No, but 154 cm is produced by. I'm drawing a blank. Son of a bitch. But I could have
exclusive. There's not a Chinesium version of 154.
No, I'm fairly certain it's only made by one company. I'm gonna double check that right now because that seems like pertinent information. 154 cm is actually developed by Crucible. Okay. Crucible stopped producing it. Hitachi started making copy ATS-34. Crucible started making it again. Okay. Yeah,
Does Crucible make both forms?
it looks like they do.
Infinite, 2 weeks of intense volunteering. The 250-meter passing zone means you should go as slow as you do in the corner so all those other sons of bitches can go by you. That's what it means. Learn how to drive in BC. Anyway. I have issues with Alberta drivers in BC, but that's also another topic for another day.
That is a gonzo of a gonzo episode, if so. But yeah.
My girlfriend learned fantastic on the way there. Classic Alberta driver. On the way home, she went into BC mode and cruised with the best of them. It was impressive. Anyway, thank you for the good words. I don't know why you're leaving us because you have been lately. I tell you, Infinite. Come slag on a Ruike knife. It'll be fun. Paul bought it. We can joke with him together.
Absolutely.
How's that milling?
Look how pretty it looks in the light.
The milling's kind of hot.
Yeah.
I got some pictures
I'll
from
be
it.
honest, I didn't really care what the blade steel was on this thing. I bought this knife because the handle's pretty. And I've never really given 154cm a fair shake. And so I figured I'd give it another go.
I like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just something that came up in my mind as I was thinking about this knife and coming into this week and talking about an upgraded version. And literally, even on their own website, it says now it comes as the fully upgraded 671-TZ. Fully upgraded means everything.
Yeah. And I would say the 154cm is still an upgrade from the 14C Sandvik. And based off of other knives that they've made, their other offerings as far as their premium steel is S35, which I have a shit ton of, and I don't need anymore. Although it is a great steel and there's nothing wrong with it. And what was it? N690?
Yeah,
That's
N680?
been the other.
I can't
Yeah.
remember. But yeah.
N690. It's been N690.
I don't need that shit in my life.
Well, I mean, get a little bit of that shit in your life. Apparently, extreme ratio, as far as impact resistance, if you're looking for some stainless something. But yeah.
Really? Okay.
Well, if you've watched any of the DBK videos on extreme ratio, they beat the ever living crap out of that ugly as snot knife.
I think that
and they actually gave a lot of credit to it.
I think that might have to do more with the geometry than with the actual steel being tough. But
yeah, but I mean, Essie. It's
Look,
1095 as far as steel being tough.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, fair enough. For the record, though, 154cm is going to be nowhere near as tough as 14C Sandvik. So you're getting an upgrade in edge retention, but you're not getting an upgrade in toughness or stainlessness.
No, but I'll take the edge retention.
Yeah. No, 154cm is
in a pocket knife any day.
Yeah.
And yes, anyway, continue on. It's one of the things that there might be some comparisons back and forth between the original carbon fiber front flippery goodness and the new one.
It randomly just popped into my head talking about the Sandvik steels, but the little Nordic Ika that I have in 12C Sandvik, I kind of want to baton with that thing because I bet you it probably takes it like a champion.
Yeah, it might roll,
but I mean, it's not gonna break. It's pretty thin on the edge. Slicey.
I don't know where 12C is supposed to stand up in terms of toughness compared to like 14, because 14C is ridiculously tough.
12 is still pretty tough, but when you're talking about Scandi grinds with certain stock thicknesses, there's only so much.
It's full flat.
Oh, is it now? All right. I'll see you get that stuck and then laugh. Sure, that'll be fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's what I do.
Yeah, we've met.
And I think we've said already, this knife's a titanium frame lock. Steel backspacer, steel clip.
Yeah.
This is giving me better vibes than this knife. or sorry, better vibes than the knife I'm thinking of, which is a button lock Kershaw that had titanium handles, but like an 8CR blade. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. But
button lock. There was one that was a frame lock called the Dimension. Is that the knife you're thinking of?
It's a button lock though. A Kershaw titanium button lock with 8CR, and it always bugged me.
I think you're thinking about the Dimension, and I don't think that knife had a button lock. Oh, it did. Son of a bitch. I mean, no, it didn't. Don't look it up at all. You're not right.
Well, thanks for finding out. Yeah, this thing. So
damn you, Joe. Damn you.
Thank you. Yeah, this thing's got like a little bit of milling. It's a button lock, which is super cool for the time, but CR13 MOV. I mean, fuck, come on.
Everything about that knife was okay, except for that part.
Yeah, it was like, well, what the fuck? So I'm happy to see that Ruike actually did upgrade the blade steel on this thing. It's not like they wouldn't. The other titanium frame lock models they've done, like we talked about, S35, 154, and 690, like they're up a few steps above. But it's still. I don't think we actually said what the price was for the Ruike.
No, we hinted at it and then never said
directly on their website. It's only 126 of the Penguin dollars on their Canadian website because they got one.
Yeah. It's cheap. It's for everything that's going into it and for the amount of work that goes into sculpting the handles.
For all of our south of the border friends, roughly 100 bones, 100 of the bald eagle dollars.
Yeah.
There's some internal milling. I tried to get some photos. They didn't seem to turn out so good when I transferred them to my computer. But there is some internal milling on the inside.
Can't you see it?
Yeah. Oh, actually, this one, just let me see if it cleans up.
Check out your scar. I mean.
Yeah, there's the pocketing. So you can see some pretty deep chamfered pockets on the inside of that. It's kind of cool. Then all the time that goes into machining the top layer. If you're gonna get a CNC made knife, it's kind of cool to have things like extra texture or contouring thrown in. So I'm always super happy to see it. But to see it at this price point, yeah, kind of feeling it.
But they've been doing extra milling and whatever at ridiculous price points all the way down to the $50 price point, and they've got some internal milling going on stuff, right? So still impressive for what it is. Now that actually segues back to the OG one of the carbon fiber. It's heavier. It also had internal milling on the stainless steel liner, but it was a stainless steel liner with G10 carbon fiber peel ply, whatever.
Talking about that knife, we should.
Wait, the original was heavier than this one?
Sure was.
That's amazing.
So 3.67 on the CF version, 3.49 on the TI version.
Very nice. That's right up there with ZT with their 562 CF versus titanium, and they're almost the exact same weight.
So I think we did do a video on this knife, the original one, a long time ago.
We scored it, but I mean, some of us liked it more than others.
Well, I think
I'll be honest, I don't like that knife.
I think we were all pretty
like that knife.
Yeah, I think that was kind of our major takeaway from that review, was just like, yeah, there's a lot of good that could have happened here, but I think the action was the big problem with that knife, if I'm recalling correctly.
And yeah, I mean, that was part of it. The big ass thumb studs with the O-rings was also part of it. Yeah,
like O-rings that are gonna connect to something and then soften the opening, maybe, but on top of the thumb studs is just super weird. Anyway, sorry, Paul, you were showing the camera something.
No, I was just gonna say they're still gigantic on the new model.
They sure are, yeah.
But I think they're nicer as a solid silver color rather than.
Yes, they look nicer in their true bug eye form. They've fully Kermited the frog the hell out of that instead of
I don't know if you can see it on camera here or not, but the thumb studs are literally taller than the spine of the knife. There you go. That's it right there.
So, hey, Paul, that's one of my 5 nitpicks of this knife. that fucking shelf. And it doesn't actually feel all that bad in hand. They actually have it chamfered. Oh, it's too dark. You can't see in that photo. But they actually have it chamfered on the bottom side of the thumb stud. So it doesn't actually bite when you put your thumb on it. Like, that's actually, like, I mean, okay. Fine.
You did it right.
Yeah, like, if you're going to have it hanging off the side of the knife, at least it seems like you knew it was going to do that, so you took steps to prevent it from being actually horrible. Yeah. Okay, I may not agree with it aesthetically, but I can't fault it in terms of functionality. Like, it's fine.
So the way that they have the knife jimped, it's really the jimping's there. The jimping is there. Fuck you. The jimping's really there just for the opening of the knife. It's not terribly functional as far as like where you're gonna put your thumb on the knife.
I noticed that if you try to use it like that, like you're way back. It's kind of like the jimping on this knife, actually. You really got to have your thumb way back in kind of a pokey sort of, and that works when you have a handle to hold on to. But that thing's like in that grip, it feels like a 3-fingered to me.
But on that note, you can throw up in the hand grip because I did throw and give you.
But the thumb studs actually give you a little bit of texture on top of the knife like that, and they actually kind of act like jimping and keep your thumb in place.
Yeah.
So as much as I don't like the fact that they overhang, they function.
Thumb studs act like it's a boat in the middle of the ocean. Like there's like seriously.
I mean, again, it's a nitpick, but it is one of my nitpicks for this knife.
It's got a dually, okay?
No, I will say in the hand I could, but skinny hands, good 4 fingers on it. I feel that the titanium is thick enough, the blade stock is thick enough. It's borderline not being able to do hard work with it, but I think you still could.
Yeah.
The blade stock is thick enough, and I think the saber grind on it is obtuse enough that I wouldn't be that worried about just going to town cutting.
And I mean, you don't have to worry about the bottom, 3/4 of an inch ever going dull because you can't cut anything with it because of the giant goddamn thumb studs. But
you can cut it at an angle and avoid it.
Look, I mean, if this knife wasn't so nice to flick open from those thumb studs, the very first thing I would do is take them off. But it functions so good.
Something I wanted to talk about too. You can actually take the thumb studs off. It looks like is it a T8 or is it just a T6? It looks like a T8 with how big that is compared to the lock bar insert screw.
I don't know, but I bet you if you put a set of Benchmade studs on there, it would probably still act just fine when you try to deploy it.
Yeah, it's T8.
Nice. So yeah, theoretically, and if the other side starts to slip, if it's not heat or whatever, you can just use like a rubber band to stretch it around and use it to grip in place and then turn from the other side. Assuming it's not Loctited in place. Loctited? Thread locked? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, you could take it off if you really had to.
And I may or may not, somewhere around my apartment, someplace, have some thumb studs that are Benchmade-y.
As long as the internal diameter of that hole matches the external diameter on the stud shelving, it might actually work.
Okay, you're talking like the tolerances matter.
Well,
how many CRKTs do you owe, Joe? Come on.
I own a couple of nice ones. They're accidentally nice, but
I mean, as long as the stock thickness isn't like, a hovering or stop pin on a 940 and just shakes back and forth, then.
Oh, speaking of.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
If you like pina coladas.
Yeah. Is there a good shot? So you can see actually in this photo here that Dennis provided.
I didn't
On-
provide shit. You stole it from me. I don't give you consent to use those pictures.
Don't say that. Now I got to take him down. Damn it.
Thwarted by our own video.
You've been DMCA'd by yourself. Great. Shit. So you can actually see, aside from the pivot, you can see two more screw locations on this knife. There's one near the butt and then one near almost in line with the thumb stud. That's the stop pin there. It doesn't go through the backspacer. So what you're hearing rattling back and forth is what we think is a locating pin on the inside of the handle.
For the other side of the backspacer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, I actually put a magnet near the side of his knife, and we could hear the pin slide and go tick on the inside of the titanium. And it stopped rattling when I shook it with the magnet there. It was pretty funny.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a steel pin that's locating.
The weird thing about this one, though, that's the dome side. Like, that's the back side of that pin.
Mhm.
There's no screw on the other side of that knife.
Yep.
So, what's it screwed into?
You're going to have to disassemble it. Let us know.
But I don't really want to. Damn it.
Well, now you need to take pictures and follow up on that shit, because, yeah.
Damn it. Give
Yeah.
myself work. This is nonsense.
You gave yourself homework, you absolute fool.
Yeah. So that's one of the many gripes.
One of them I kind of rescinded. The more I thought about it. Really, yeah.
Oh, well, I want to know about
Problem.
it. I want to give you a hard time for it at least.
We might get there later. We'll see.
What is the symbol on the side of the knife that I'm seeing? The little circle thing.
One's an R, the other one's a K.
It's
For Ruike.
Rook's like
Yeah.
logo thingy symbol.
That's my guess anyway.
That's fair.
It's like Spyderco's bug or Benchmade's butterfly or ZT's ZT.
Or Artisan's hate crime.
Yeah, let's not go there.
A discussion for another video.
Uh-huh.
Questionable things in the knife. Anyway, there's a lot of that. So that long string of characters beside that logo, that's just the batch number. Is that did we talked about this with another group review? I think.
Who knows? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous, is what it is. Get it
That's a
off
lot of
my
bullshit.
knife.
Yeah.
It's a little silly.
I wonder if I could just sand it off.
You could, but these blades are like, they look like they're very finely bead blasted, so you'd probably want to
So
like.
I'm-
Oh, you know what you
Maybe-
could do, dude? You could take off the thumb studs, take the blade out of the pivot, and then sand just the flats. So you'd have like a hand rub finish across the flats, and then have the bead blasted on the bevels. That might actually look really nice.
Hey, look, more projects. Neat.
Yeah, but this one could take you like half an hour, and then you'd be done.
Where's that anthem clip?
Yeah.
All
Right here.
I'll quit giving it homework.
It's mildly less penisy.
It's a little bit more flaccid. It's all right.
More
Let's-
plastic?
Yeah, it's less defined in shape.
It's not quite as excited as it once was. It's
True facts.
How to segue away from that?
Speaking of pocket clips,
Oh,
I like
yeah.
how they threw the old one onto the new one, because
So-
they literally took the carbon fiber one. It was like, do we need to change it? Do we need to upgrade? Do we need to have a complete upgrade? No, we do not need a complete
So-
upgrade.
They had extras because the other one didn't sell.
Which would have been fine had they used countersunk screws. But this is let's call this bitching point number 2, nitpick number 2. These dome-headed screws are very proud of the side of the knife, and while the pocket clip does actually provide a very deep carry, pretty deep carry.
It should be proud of the side of the knife. I mean,
Look,
the side of
it's
the
beautiful.
knife, the side of the knife's a good looking side. Yeah, it's
Yeah, but glad you honed in on that. Thank you.
Yep.
But
That's a
it
good
does. Paul and I both noticed it does catch on your pocket a little bit when you're putting. At least in blue jeans, it seems to do that.
I do not like this clip.
I just
Sam,
don't
I
like
am.
this. I don't like the screws I'm okay with the clip, to be honest.
I'm a
do
little bit
better.
disappointed by the fact that it's been countersunk, because otherwise getting a replacement clip would be a hell of a lot easier.
So, would you be willing for this knife to be $10 extra, maybe $15 extra if it had a 3D milled titanium clip, kind of like what they had
Have we
on
met
the?
Joe?
Well, theoretical question that I theoretically know the answer to, but
Yeah.
similar to how the N690 bladed, I can never remember the name for that thing or the number, whatever. The one with the carbon fiber inlay. It had a
Mhm.
titanium milled clip that was DLC coated.
Yeah, but it wasn't that good either.
No, but
No.
but you could still mill a clip specific for this knife. Maybe give it some of the cool texturing that's on the rest of the knife. Like, I'd pay an extra $20 for that.
Maybe back off on the tension a little bit, because well, the carbon fiber one, I bet you the tension was great with a nice smooth side, but there's a lot of milling here, and it's going to shred pockets. I'm genuinely pondering taking the pocket clip off completely, and I don't know if I want to fifth pocket carry it or.
Because it is a one position clip, it would have really been nice to have seen something. Oh shit, I don't have a good example of this on hand, but like oh no, I do. A clear spot underneath the clip. You're not gonna be able to see that; it's too dark. Anyway, a place without texture for the clip to land. It would have been cool to have something like that.
Spyderco's logo on any of their FRN stuff, kind of garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly like that.
It literally falls like in the bottom of one of the grooves.
So it's funny that you mentioned taking the clip off completely to carry it fifth pocket styles like I do my Dragonfly, because on the original carbon fiber version of this knife, it very last sentence in the description talks about how it is a convenient and practical portable spare knife.
Spare knife. Interesting wording.
I mean, they
Portable
know
spare
me
knife,
well
yeah.
because I am the guy that's going to carry a spare knife.
Yeah. Now, surprisingly, the titanium version does not have that, because mainly it's just raving about the original one and how awesome it was that they had to make a good one of this. But
I mean,
it is a substantial upgrade all around, though.
I just like milling, damn it.
Okay, yes. The milling,
for very reasonable prices, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm also gonna click. What's my knocking stuff off? I'm willing to look the other way on this other nitpick. In this photo, you can see that around the pivot, they left the milling rather crisp at the peaks and valleys, and there's no like consideration for where the hardware of the pivot actually sits.
Mm-hmm.
Again, for the price, I'm not that bothered by it. Would have been nice to see just I don't know, have it like swell up and then be chamfered in for the screw head. It would have been cool.
If they did the chamfering like they did on the bottom of the thumb studs, it would have been.
Don't mess with the peaks and the valleys, man. Come on.
I gotta.
I like. Can y'all hear that? No.
No. Stop doing that so aggressively, Paul.
It's nice.
What's nice exactly?
Him rubbing it to make them like what is it called? Washing board on a hillbilly band.
But I see.
It's Paul. So.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, could hear that. Yeah.
It's got a good texture to it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you are the type of person that cares about that with a knife, this has it.
So we dabbled on billboarding, but Jesus Christ, Rake.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot.
Ruike.
Come
on.
Especially compared to other brands that are from the same area, let's say.
What kind of
like Sabibi?
Well, it's like they're racing CRKT. And I mean,
but CRKT's pulling back from that race.
Yeah.
Like substantially so.
No, they're not. They're just smart about it, and they made their font very small. They're still the same way
But
to billboard.
no, there isn't. There isn't.
They don't put
Most
the
of
names on their knife anymore.
they do not. It's
the
just
patent, the patents. I think
It's bothersome as a knife salesman. It used to be super easy for CRKTs because it was right there.
yeah. He had to tell me the number for the curfew today instead of just saying, "Oh, it's the curfew."
Hey,
I've
man,
noticed. But
hater.
no, I've been in that position looking at the knife. That's a CRKT. Let me look up the name. But yeah, billboarding. Holy shit! Why is your company symbol on the reverse of your knife, and why is your company's name on the front end of your knife? Choose one and put it in a position.
And quite honestly, I want your logo, and that's it. I
same.
don't care about your name. Give me a logo.
Wait. You're forgetting. We need to put it on the clip tip. Don't forget.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
it is
but
there too.
every
Just in case.
so
Don't
many
forget.
other look. If Spyderco could find a way to put their logo on their wire clips, they would. So
No, I get that, but then
Yeah.
don't put it on your blade because whatever. Like leave the symbol on it because you want brand recognition.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
something.
the-
Come on.
it could be reduced. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it or that they shouldn't be penalized because everyone else is doing it, but
And I don't know what kind of crazy number you have, but is it more collectible if it has more vowels? Like I don't know. We should start a thing. How many vowels does your
has
root
one
have?
vowel?
What's that?
Mine only has one.
Oh, it's slacking.
Yeah, it's got 4 consonants.
Those are continents. Paul, come on.
My mistake.
damn right.
It's okay.
Excuse me. I'm gonna shake my maraca at you.
That's why I'm here to correct you. But anyway.
You're here for something.
Or am I here for anything at all?
Thought we were reviewing this knife.
I'm
but
pretty sure
I
I'm
could
gonna
be
walk
wrong.
away with yeah.
So is that all of the Joe gripes?
No, there were a couple. I didn't even grab a photo of it,
more.
but okay. So, and I'm gonna preface this with a compliment. They actually chamfered the groove. They chamfered the groove on the lock bar for this knife. Such an easy thing to forget and not do properly on a knife that costs over double that should have been done. Anyway, fuck you, CRKT.
Indeed.
Take my money. Yeah. So even though they got the chamfering there correct and they did a really nice job of it, do you see how proud that screw head is for the pivot? And do you remember how countersunk the head of the screw on the pivot was on the show side?
Hey,
They are different shapes, sir. They are
Yeah.
absolutely different shapes.
what
That
did they
also
tell you
bothers
about
me.
peaks and valleys? I mean, seriously.
One's
and
way higher than the other, one's way lower, one's like concave, one's or convex, one's quite a bit less convex. The asymmetry kind of bothers me because the rest of the handle is done so damn well that these little things just stand out, and it's like,
CPM, why does this Ruike look like a Brian tie? It's because it is. They took the blade and put it in their batwing version of the knife and just took the handle and put it on the 671.
Because of the swoopies.
Yeah,
Was gonna be
The
my answer.
swoopies.
The
There is a lot of swoopies. It's better than having maple syrup dripping off of your knife. That's
how much better though?
3/4 of a step better.
Which part of my knife?
Yes.
That it's dripping off of? Any part.
Well, if there's syrup on my blade, I don't care.
Syrup, but perfectly pocketed into the relief milling on the inside of the handles.
Oh, you are a monster.
Yeah, Q-tip's not going to be good enough for that one.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Oh, it's a secret maple syrup compartment to share for later.
Exactly. And now I always have some with me just in case.
Oh, I hate it. Yeah, and again, keep in mind when I'm saying nitpick, I mean this doesn't really like it bothers me on an aesthetic level, but as far as like again, this knife was 120 bucks. $100 American. I can't get that bent out of shape really for how well executed this thing is. But I'm still gonna bitch about the tiny things because they do annoy me a little bit.
Have we even talked about the fact that it flicks better than it front flippers, and it's a front flipper?
Okay, so we're going to lead into the fact that if I were to purchase this knife, we all talked about it and getting away with a front flipper delete
Can't
on
do
this
it.
knife. Yeah, you can.
No,
Don't look
there's
at me
a
like
stop
you
pin on
can't.
the back. You can't.
Yeah, look at where it lines up. There's a hint of disappearing act you could get away with.
I don't think you can.
I don't think
Oh,
you can, bro.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, I'm wrong.
Unfortunately.
Never mind. What was the anyway? I was looking at a different knife that I was looking at a front flipper delete on because I thought you could get away with that one.
I don't know.
I would agree with you 100% though. I would absolutely. I said to Joe today that I would absolutely delete that tab if the stop pin wasn't an issue.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah,
I actually
because
prefer the front flipper action on that knife to the
over
thumb
this?
studs. Yeah,
Oh, but this is so
because
good, Joe.
it's not bad, but I do like maybe it's just the novelty of it because there aren't a ton of front flippers. And I'm like, yeah, this is great, and usually it's kind of like, oh, this is okay.
I guess I have more front flippers in my collection already, and
You do, and some that
I
are quite a bit
prefer them
nicer.
better. So
Well,
while this
yeah.
one functions fine in that manner, it reminds me of my Fox Tur as far as thumb stud flick.
And it is on a nice ball bearing pivot. It's very
Yeah.
smooth. It's quite a few miles away from its inspiration for sure. The action on this is actually good. Yeah.
So both had a thrust bearing system, and you got to say,
really?
it's all
It's
about
thrust bearings, huh?
thrusting. Oh yeah, it's all about the thrust.
So when they say thrust bearing, they're talking about the pin bearings, right? Instead of the ball bearings?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Little cylinders.
Yeah, very cool.
Now, roller bearings is slightly different than thrust.
Really?
There's thrust roller bearings and there's normal thrust bearings. I believe they are slightly different things, but I'm not sure 100% why.
I'll have to look into this. That sounds like a whole other topic for a whole other video.
When Paul does a disassembly to find out where those screws are going or where they start, really, we know where they end, but where do they begin?
Let's take a look at their.
I hope it's a cone bearing.
Because they do have. Hang on a sec. Let's see if I can find it. You son of a bitch.
Well, they say built-in ball bearing structure on the original.
It appears that like a standard ball bearing is also considered a thrust bearing, maybe. Or maybe that's a journal bearing. It's not exactly clear, but it seems to be saying that a thrust bearing is a particular type of rotary bearing. They come in several varieties.
Roller being one of them.
I do see a picture here that's a labeled thrust bearing that looks exactly like what you would expect with ball bearings in a.
I wonder if thrust bearings are not made for continuous duty, whereas like roller bearings or just standard ball bearings are more meant like for constantly rotating objects.
Well, I'm going to end up putting these things to the test if that's the case, because I'm going to out thrust these bearings.
I don't know. Those thrusts have been tested.
We're getting into dangerous territory.
I'm not going to jump to that bait, but
just saying.
Go on.
There might be videos of both.
Uh-oh.
There probably is. But yeah, The clip sucks. Everything else is great.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get
The clip is literally the same clip. That's all they did. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
the
gonna get
fact
myself a Kydex neck carry sheath for it.
I would have preferred the cheaper clip. I would have vastly preferred this cheaper clip that they use for some of their other models.
Maybe I'll
If
put
it
it in a
is-
slip pouch.
If it is a 2-hole pattern, you might be able to get away with an MXG clip.
Or just use the cheaper clip. It might actually
I-
work.
I might be able to cut the plate off of the back of that clip and use it to fill the recess, and
Oh,
then
sneaky.
I clip over top. Because the
Sneaky.
MXG clip screws tend to be fairly long, from what I remember. That'd be
MXG
kind of
provides
cheeky
screws?
if I could make it work.
I think they have, yes.
MXG gives you titanium screws with your when you buy clips.
So you just have to hope that the threading matches.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you
Which
use these ones and hope that they're long enough, which don't know that they come through.
yeah, what do you think that is? A 940? Come on.
If
Well,
it's
there's holes all the way through, but
You didn't pay nearly enough money to have that inconsistency. Come on.
you never know. Maybe a Benchmade screw fits right in.
Here, let me grab my fancy carbon fiber one so you can take a look.
oh god,
Are they the clip screws though, or are they the
the body screws.
metal plates?
Or you
the
can see
body
them out of
screws?
focus. You can see them.
That's brutal.
Anyway,
It's to train their
Yeah.
guys to not decenter their knives.
exactly.
Well, that's your other problem when it comes to so
And
No,
Lord
no.
knows if it goes off center, it's gonna scratch.
Look, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
yeah, yours is fine. So.
This one.
Has it ever scratched?
I had to get 4 people's knives to get a centered Benchmade. It's so that's all it took was to get parts from everyone to get the best of every.
Did it not come centered?
Oh, I don't know. I swapped that out so goddamn quick. There was no time to check how good that knife was.
Touche.
Anyway,
It also appears that there's dirt on the inside of this knife, which
Yeah,
is
probably
making
the
me wanna
act.
tear it
You
apart.
guys talk about the action, but you should take that knife apart and clean it and document that shit because I bet you there's grit.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
You didn't get to one of the size comparisons that I actually wanted to
No.
bring up.
Let's do it.
It's a Banter. This knife's a Banter.
It's a little baby Banter.
Well, no, look at it, dude.
it a
Size
full-size
comparison.
Banter?
It's straight up Banter. They're like, hey, wait, we're gonna make a Banter.
Oh shit, it's a Banter. Well, I think even mentioned today to Joe that it passes the bend test.
You did. I thought that was very funny
Yeah.
when I saw when Dennis sent this. I was like, oh, that's how topical.
So the best part is that the Banter is just a hint longer in cutting edge, but I believe that's because you're looking at choil. I think if you actually went with blade from shoulder to tip, I bet you these knives are exactly the same.
They're
They
going
look
to be
to be
really
about-
close. Yeah.
But well, 2.75 compared to 2.9.
Okay.
Banter is a 2.9, and so the 2.75 still reaches the bend test, but probably because this knife has the same blade length, it just has not as much of a They had more bug-eyed thumb stud real estate to work with. So
It's a pretty big choil here, let's be honest.
well, that's because it's a pretty big thumb stud that you're hiding with your index finger.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be able to sharpen it, I guess.
Well, no, you were talking about getting rid of it, the Tanto, and really you just have to continue to sharpen it. And you can't sharpen the back anyway. So eventually it'll just slowly just become
Cinquedilla.
kind of.
It's gonna turn into a pizza slice.
I mean, are you sharpening the backside of it too? That'd be sweet.
Thinking about it.
And actually, that segues me to my next comment about this whole goddamn knife.
Okay.
There was a YouTube reviewer that was going off about how this knife deserves a leather pouch or a fabric pouch or a cloth pouch or something fancier because of how nice this knife was. And he's just like, and I went back to it 2 or 3 times about, oh, it just deserves more than the box it came with. I'm like, does it? I mean, yeah, it's nice, but I mean, and I get it. Civivi and all these companies throwing in all the swag and the
provides
stickers
pouches for their cheap knives too. Like but okay, this might be a discussion for a whole other video. But I think the whole pouch thing is just fucking stupid.
Like, what are you gonna do with your goddamn pouch once you get it? Why is this a selling feature?
I
don't
only
want
care
the Civivi style pouch. Go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna say that I only care for a $600 knife. Sure, when I'm not using it, it's gonna go in the pouch. But even if I didn't have the pouch, it's gonna go into a fabric lined case anyway. So,
and if it doesn't, there's a million people that give me pouches that I can put a knife in if I need to transport a knife with a pouch. So why is this such a selling feature when you already know that there's a bunch of companies that do it? Are you making me pay more for my knife by giving it a fancy pouch? I mean, Civivi doesn't, but they're already showing people that margins don't need to be Kershaw margins to still make profit as a company. Anyway, topics for another day. Goddamn. Kangaroos do have a pouch. But it's filled half the time with sticky shit. So
thank you for that wonderful analogy.
A kangaroo pouch is no good for thrust bearings, whether they're rollers or not.
Too much mucus.
The action on that knife would be terrible after being put in that pouch.
Way too much mucus.
Thanks for that.
And I don't think the kangaroo would be happy about rooting around in there either. I'm just
bearings. Saying. Oh, come on. I'm a washers guy.
Come on, Teflon. Rick Hinderer, I carry an XM from back in the day. And Emerson with flat screws. Let's get this done. He can wave it off his pocket.
I bet you I could wave this off my pocket with these thumb studs.
Speaking of,
yeah. Horrible.
No, I will say, if you gave me with this knife, if you gave me the slip pouch that I got with my rustic gen with the pocket clip, I'd love to carry this thing in something like that.
For something small and okay, yeah.
The other thing I was going to mention, as soon as you said waving off of it, what's that stupid hook that you screw into a Spidey hole that has another Spidey hole inside it? That's
the snaggletooth.
The snaggletooth. That thumb stud's already as big as a snaggletooth. There's nowhere to go but up at that point.
Oh, I could get a wave for this. That's amazing.
Like, think about it though. You're like, it's not making it any uglier. It's already there. It's like
So here's the thing too. This knife actually manages to be both pretty and hideous at the same time, and it kind of weirds me out. Like the texturing on it is nice, but looking at the profile, especially with the Tonto blade and everything, is just fuck. This kind of does look like a Brian Ty sometimes.
Yeah.
Brian Ty's work, so take that with a grain of salt.
This is the Brian Ty that I like.
Talking about blade shape. And yeah, this is like Brian Ty if someone gave him a lot of sedatives. And they're like, okay, make a knife. And he like barely opened his eyes. He's like, one of these. You're like, wow, that's the mellowest Brian Ty I've ever seen. Let's sell 1 million copies. Anyway. I got derailed there. I was going to say something. I don't even remember what it was.
Excellent.
Oh, okay. Looking at this thing, the more I'm thinking about doing exactly what Joe was talking about with the flats and getting rid of all of their.
Just be careful because you get these high spots right on the shoulder that kind of like maple syrup drip like a Brian Ty. So maybe you should do it. Anyway, Anyway, on those lines, you got to be careful with that shit. I would tape it off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Be real clear about taping it nice and tight.
Tape off the area for the washers as well.
What I was going to mention, well before the washers, I would say right after the shoulder of the knife. So anyway, blade, Tanto shaping, Brian Ty, whatever type of thing. The blade length is identical to the former predecessor that had this weird sheep's footy, Warren Cliffy reverse something.
Is it not just this blade without the Tanto?
No. It's a weird, like, drop pointy, looks like the Ken Onion Skinner looking knife. It might be that without a Tonto.
Yeah, no.
Kind of looks like. No, it's got a different spine to it, too. Anyway, 2.76, but like exact same blade length on the nose to the millimeter.
Hey, look, we found out last week that that's not necessarily always a feature, so it's kind of neat to find out that they're identical.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could be an urban.
That's it.
You could. You shouldn't. But you could. Tune in last week to figure out what we're talking about.
Tune in last week.
We didn't get enough views. We could tune in a couple more from last week and that'd be okay with me. But anyway, okay. So the blade shape CPM, are you talking about the original 671 or the Tantoed one? Just out of curiosity, because the original one sure looks like the Ken Onion Skinner, the Unusual Hunter. I own one somewhere back there.
Yeah, that weird.
It's not organized.
Thing.
The Unusual Hunter is what it's called. Anyway, it sure looks like one of those too. So, I mean, who stole what from who's it in the who's now?
That's one of the weirder knives that Ken Onion ever made.
The Unusual? Yeah, but it had K110 for the steel. So, giggity.
Yeah.
From CRKT. It was a bowler. Like, why? How? Do it again, please.
It was it was an administrative fuck up. And they were like, we accidentally succeeded. We got to keep this going for a little bit.
And I don't know enough of Diskin's Tanto blades because all of the shit I know is mainly Kershaw's hunting shit. And that made me look up the custom versions of hunting shit, but it was all drop pointy and Nesmucky hunting shit. And I never looked at his Tantos because I'm not a Tanto guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Tantos?
Well, I'm not a thug. I'm not a thug.
Yeah.
It counts.
It will take nothing, though, to take this thing off.
It's a really slight Tonto, yeah.
It's one of those. It would make it so ugly on my thug, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would not do it to the thug.
It looks much better on your 671, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it wouldn't take much. Like, literally, just resharpening and pretending the Tanto's not there would probably be all you need.
That's probably where I would start. And if it wasn't working, then I would start concentrating a little bit more.
And it's been rare that I have to do this, but I got a government mandate. I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys.
For sure. He's got a tinkle.
All right, now let's talk a lot of shit.
There we go. Ben, where are you at?
It's not like he ever watches these videos. He watches them occasionally afterwards. That's not the only reason I don't want to make fun of him, but that's it. What can we talk about while he's gone? Other nitpicky bullshit? I don't know.
Yeah, give me your best shot, sir.
It's mostly like really, really small fit and finish / design shit. It's nothing that I could really point to and go like, you should avoid this knife for this reason. There's literally nothing like that. May as well go over the one other nitpick I have that is surface finish related. It's the backspacer. So they did a really good job with their milling texture. Like you can see here, very, very minimal chatter, even super zoomed in as this is, and it's kind of hard to tell what's going on, but not a lot of chatter. Pretty clean machining. Oh, indeed. Did I just close that? Just can't navigate worth a shit. There we go. But the backspacer, the jimping they have on the back end, it's a little chattery. And it looks like it was just rough milled and they didn't do a proper cleaning pass. Yeah. And again, super minor. And honestly, you could take a small needle file or a little diamond file or something and probably clean that up. Shit, it's 2,000 grit sandpaper in like 30 seconds. You could probably clean that.
Is it bad to say that that's what I expect from ZT?
To see that kind of crappy fit and finish in jimping? Well,
I expect to see maybe not necessarily a finish pass afterwards.
I don't know, because my experience with
What are you talking about? They're just bringing out all the layers of Damascus that they put on the backspacer. Like, that's obviously what it was.
They've got to etch it. It's like a secret that you don't know about.
They didn't know about it either.
No. For the record, all secrets are things you don't know about. That's what makes them a secret.
I wasn't going to get into it, but that's okay. So as far as like chatter and stuff like that in ZT, is not like, do you have a specific example offhand or?
No, maybe what I'm thinking of is more intentional looking than what we're looking at right now. when you zoomed in, it did not look nearly as intentional as what I'm thinking about with ZT.
Yeah, no, it's
Like-
Oh, you mean like the grooved milling and like the side of like
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Yeah.
not necessarily
That's
that, but kind of. Yeah. I guess something very similar.
Or the
thought that's what
lock
we were
bar
looking at.
on my 707. It's very hinty of, and I don't think I can get it to focus because,
yeah.
Yeah.
but
Again, for the
Look it up.
price.
Look up a 707. I bet you can see it.
Behind the clip? I don't know.
Why not?
We could take a look, yeah.
anyway,
But yeah, I think I was recognizing this as more intentional than it actually is. From a distance, it looks more intentional than it does up close. And the lighting that I'm looking at it in right now is not great. I can tell that it's kind of fuzzy, but that's about it.
I can kind of see that. And that's gonna. Okay, so what I was talking about on the sides of the knife on the scales.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's more intentional.
that's intentional. Yes. So they're using clean tools. They're not running at crazy speeds, obviously, because again, the surface finish is nice. They've clearly either blasted it or tumbled it. They did something after the fact to kind of blend everything together. It's a nice job. It's just I wish they had paid the same sort of attention to the backspacer. Yes, it's steel, but come on. Anyway, again, super minor especially with the price point.
I got a question for you guys and maybe the audience. If you were to anodize this, would you do a treatment of any sort to the backspacer?
Oh, dude.
'Cause I
Okay.
can't anodize it, but
If I were okay, it kind of depends on what the material is exactly, like what type of stainless steel, how hard it is. Cause thinking about ZT, thinking about that knife Dennis just showed off, I'd want to mirror polish the backspacer.
oh no.
Because I think that'd be hot as shit, especially
Oh,
with the
no.
jimping and the contours. I mean, if you could do it, if you could find a way to do it,
or just high
Ooh.
polish the tops, the flats.
yeah, like that would be cool as hell. And
And it's already bead blasted, so it probably would literally just be a stropping.
yeah, you'd probably want some sort of diamond paste in order to bring it out. But yeah, you probably could polish this thing with minimal effort compared to say polishing a blade steel, which is hardened and tempered and gonna be
I got
just a nightmare.
2,000 around here. The only problem is that leaves the crappy milling behind.
I feel like I wouldn't care as much if the rest of it
really brings out the etch.
Yeah.
Maybe you do that at a 400 grit.
Or you could mirror
And
polish
then-
just the insides of the jimping. Because that would be a cool little touch to just have in there. It would take a lot less effort as well.
You know? All you're gonna do is you're just gonna bring out all those scratches.
That's not how that works.
Gonna highlight the crap out of them.
Well, start with a
No, but
more
he's
coarse grit.
I was gonna say he's gonna use too fine of a grit. Then it's just gonna highlight
Yeah.
all of them. and
I
then it'll
have
look
180 grit all the way up to 2,000 grit. I got options.
Nice.
man.
Score that
options.
shit.
Yeah. Start with a 180 for sure.
I got a Dremel. Just do that.
There you go.
Honestly, if you had a Dremel tool that was the right diameter, like those little silicon bits, like the rubberized abrasives, that might be faster. But they'd have to be really skinny to fit in those grooves. We're getting way off, but yeah, I think that'd be a fun one to do.
So here's another random fact, just because I've been throwing random facts all night.
Yeah.
I was looking at the comparison on a Banter. And yeah, it's a weight of a Banter, but obviously G10 versus titanium, the weight is not exactly the same. But
Right.
the weight on a Banter is 2.86 compared to 3.5 on a. So for the G10 and what it is, this thing is not a huge step up in weight to jump to a TI handle compared to a Banter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think, honestly, a big chunk of that weight does come from the solid steel backspacer this thing is rocking. If you were to manufacture something yourself and replace it with, like, G10 or something else, you'd probably reduce that weight even further. But it's really not that heavy of a knife. Like, even size considered, it's not that
No,
bad.
for materials they're using, it's actually pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing that I kind of noticed. Yeah.
Heavily milled, yeah. It really takes the weight off.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk about the lanyard. It's there. It's acceptable.
It's gross. It's gross before. It was gross now. When you're talking about total upgrade, let's not change anything about a whole bunch of shit that should be upgraded.
Look.
That's not a complete upgrade.
And now I can put my patent pending lanyard on this knife for when I take the pocket clip off and drop it in my 5th pocket. That's right, patent pending.
Your convenient spare knife that they're marketing it as.
For Paul,
you say
it's a
it
spare
like
knife.
I don't already carry a knife in that pocket.
Every day, dude. Every day.
Yeah.
I used to carry other things in that pocket, and I don't anymore because I carry a dragonfly. Anyway,
That's what I'm saying.
final thoughts on this son bitch? We've talked too long for this crap.
Yeah, we've been chatting.
Yeah, you own one. So what's your final take?
All things considered, I'll give it an overall probably 7 out of 10.
You bought one.
Yeah, I like it. I bought it because of the titanium. The titanium's 10 out of 10. But overall, the knife is probably a 7 out of 10. 7's 70%. That's what, a C?
So come on, it's so memey now that we always give it 7s.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the joke.
I know.
But genuinely, I really do enjoy it. It's a big thing for me. We've talked about it before. I've been mocked for it before. How a knife feels in hand can give you the tingles and the jingles, give you the fizz.
Yeah.
This one gives me the fizz.
Fair.
Yeah. But there's definitely downsides. The bucket stuff. And it is what it is.
But you prefer this surface texture and finish to the penguin with the frag pattern.
It's very similar as far as milled titanium, whatever. But I already have a penguin. I didn't have one of these.
Okay.
That's
fair enough.
Probably the biggest difference is
you didn't buy one of the 671 CBCF something.
No, I did not like that knife. I did not expect to like this one, and then I saw them milling, and I was like, "Oh, fuck you!" Cheat codes. It's literally cheat codes to my heart.
It's kind of bad when you realize companies have a dial on us as people.
And for the record, I don't think Joe actually put it up, but I did actually get a picture with the billboarding of the knife, but it also really showed off the milling as well.
The one with where it was halfway open?
The one, yeah, the one.
Yeah,
CM,
I had that one in here. I just don't know where it ended up. Maybe not. I thought I did. Here it is. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
He's jumping through. Oh, there it is.
Just the glinting of the sun and it coming off, and it's all sexy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was also showing off the fact that Ruike puts on way too many letters on their knife. Jesus Christ. How many vowels does that one have?
One.
Oh, I see. There's a pattern here. Unless you're counting those as O's instead of zeros.
It might be a serial number because that one's 47 and mine's 105.
It might be.
The last digits might be a serial number. The first digits might be.
So instead of just a numerical count to go with the product name, they have the batch number, the serial number. Why?
Yeah, Joe, because fuck you. Oh, that's why.
Why?
Because
they got to make sure that no one's cloning them.
You can cut that. You can cut that information. You can cut that amount of information in half. Come on.
Dennis, high five for that one.
Yeah.
You
almost reset him.
Yeah, that kind of hurt. Yeah. A little bit of extra psychic damage there for the night.
I mean,
absolutely.
God forbid that the money that goes into the pockets for the guys who own Ruike goes into the pockets that own the knockoff companies.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like Civivi,
I mean, that might fill the same pocket more than once. You got to watch out. It's
Fucking right.
Civivi doesn't.
fill their pockets more than once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mean, the banter. Can we go back
I
to
wonder-
that picture of that?
I wonder if this
Jesus.
thing's big enough for that pouch that we have at work with the open bottom, that it would not slide out.
I don't know if you'd be able to fit it in.
I don't know, but for the record, that is not a fifth carry knife. Like, Jesus Christ, the Dragonfly pushes luck with the clip on it.
It fits.
That's
I tried it.
ridiculous.
I
It's like
tried it
putting a
today.
mini grip Chilean in your watch pocket. Like,
Have you not?
I, sir, am not a clown with a
So
Volkswagen.
this would
It's-
I even
this
carry
would
a Tengu in my friggin'
this
fifth
might
pocket.
this might piss you both off, but back when I was working warehousing, I had a pair of jeans, actually several pairs, with very large fifth pockets. So large, I could carry my Adamas in the main pocket and the Benchmade 300 ball flipper in the fifth pocket comfortably.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was stupid.
How did you get into your pocket?
Okay, for the
These
record,
were big pockets.
comfortably for Joe is also that horrific Ruike knife that he owns. So, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
People
that
still
one.
carry pocket watches. I tried to for a little while when I was a hipster, but
Yeah. When you were a hipster, come on. When
I
you
got
were
one.
more of a hipster than you are now.
I got one. I've carried more than one in my life.
I have carried more than one also in my life.
Yeah. I got one. It's from what's that stupid friggin' like mail order catalog with like the China plates and stuff. Franklin Mint. It's Franklin Mint. It's got wolves all over it.
Nice. I think I own the same one, but my parents got it for me when I was like 14 years old. So
Yep, that's exactly the exact story.
That's funny.
I might have been 13.
I had one that used to be my grandpa's, but it went missing at their place one day. It went missing and never saw it again. And I don't know.
Grandpa got senile and was taking his watch back.
Oh, probably. Knowing him, it probably
That
wasn't
son
even
of a
said.
bitch stole my
Yeah.
pocket watch.
Yeah. I'll find it under a couch years from now. Who knows?
Goddamn kids keep stealing my watch. He's just got like a bundle of 19 watches from all his grandkids.
It's the same fucking watch. Anyway.
He's like a lighter thief, but for watches.
You're like, this guy's goddamn muskrat. Shiny things. Tell you.
Oh.
Goddamn muskrat.
All right. Are we even going to talk about anything else, or are we just raved about a 671 for over an hour? So
I think it's a great knife. You and I haven't given ratings though.
Yeah, true facts.
What are
Is
you
it a
gonna
7
give?
out of 10 for you guys?
Oh, I give it 19 dental procedures because it belongs with a snaggletooth.
Look, if I can get a snaggletooth that'll fit it, I will put it on just to give you hope.
Oh, I'll make it fit.
Oh,
You can make it fit in the watch pocket. I can make a snaggletooth fit.
A Dremel tool with a diamond burr might be needed.
I genuinely am gonna look into the Benchmade thumb studs though, see if how those fit, how they feel.
Fair.
I should have more room, more access to the thumb stud, which is nice.
All right. I was just wondering if Ben, when he died of dysentery, I'm wondering where that watch was. It wasn't in the fifth pocket at that point.
We're talking about Christopher Walken here.
Yeah, maybe. He wasn't walking so
He hit
easy
it-
with the watch.
He hit it in the one place he had.
Yeah.
What's your vote there, Joseph?
I'm gonna give this, I don't know, 660 TZs out of 671 TZs. Name your knives.
You Well,
I was
okay,
about
so
to box you for that.
hang on a second. If he ranked it 661 of the TZs, that means he just ranked it the knife that we've already reviewed like 3 weeks ago.
660, I said.
Oh, damn it. I was so close to having a point. I was one TZ away from having a point, goddammit.
Excellent.
I've gone too far. I'm going to stick with it.
That's okay.
Look,
So really, you're just saying that this is as good as the 661 TZ.
I want you to know that a 660 out of 671 is a way higher score than a 7 out of 10.
For the record,
It's like 9.7 or something ridiculous.
I like the 662.
There you go.
Not the TZ though. This is.
I was gonna say you're like one TZ away from a fucking pumpkin. I don't know.
Dude, the number of orange and black knives I've seen recently, or I'm like, yeah, I want that. It's getting upsetting. The AD 20.5 is one of them for the record.
Ben's championing me in the chat about Paul got it, but I'm not sure what I got. So does that mean that I no longer have it?
No, Christopher Walken, and you can't shake that. Once you get that, you can't get rid of it, dude.
Once you got it, it's there.
The Walken, yeah.
Yeah, once you got the Walken, he don't leave.
Walken never left.
Christopher Walken, you need to leave my house. No. It's my house.
Anyway, this is a sweet knife. It's great for the dollar dues. Seems to be pretty good. Pretty good.
I officially have a sore finger from flicking it so much.
Yeah. Addicting. Like if I owned that thing, yeah, I'd be fidgeting with it constantly.
It's that perfect. I don't have to do anything. I just push and it pops out.
Kind of combined with the fact that this knife is distinctive enough to be pretty unique, I think, in most people's collections. If they don't have massive knife collections, this is going to stand out. It's a good project knife. It looks good the way it is.
The question is it worth being a right-hand carry? And the answer is no.
Yeah,
no, it is not.
Probably not.
No, it is
not. No. For Dennis, and this is a hill he will die on, but for a righty-only knife.
It's my hill. There's a whole bunch of people on the hill. It's not just my hill. Whoa.
Oh, and he's gone.
Bye, Dennis.
Lost it. Do I have audio?
Yeah, you're still there. You just can't see you anymore.
Super weird.
Did you turn off your webcam digitally? There might actually be a webcam shut-off button on your keyboard. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it might be.
That's super weird. I'll see what I can do here, guys.
All right. I'm going to see if I can...
You're going to knock stuff around.
There we go.
Right. It was God's wrath. I agree, Ben.
It was God's wrath. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
What did you do to piss him off? Anyway.
Huh, that's super weird. I have no idea here, guys. Give me a second.
Worst case scenario, you could maybe there's something I could do on
the end of the
my
stream anyways. Like,
ask to start video. There you go.
Have other things.
That might help.
Hey, there we go. Hey, just in time to get the fuck out of here. No, I'm just kidding.
We got a little time. Do we want to? Well, I was gonna say it's let's see, what, 8:45? Okay, not a ton of time. But
I got nothing that won't be worth another 15 minutes of ranting, so we'll save that for another day.
That's
fair. We could kind of waffle about.
I was thinking about talking about what is it? The new sheath from Fall Niven.
Oh yeah, you linked that thing. Do you know if it's listed like on a website anywhere?
Yeah, it's their X series.
Okay, let me see if I can bring that up.
Like if you look up the F1X, it's got a little lock. We don't need to talk a lot about it. It's kind of a thing that exists, and the one complaint that I've heard from people about Fall Niven stuff is they can be kind of rattly in their sheets.
So this is from
So
Cleveland Kydex.
There's an answer to that, you stupid sons of bitches. Get a proper sheath. Just buy the leather one. Like, seriously. And it's not a pro, by the way. It's just the S one. It's all right.
I'm
It's
only
all right.
seeing listings on eBay, so that's what we're using, but here we go.
Really? I was on Fall Niven's website. I literally
Well-
looked up X series.
Knife News, I think, has a link.
Okay, well, we'll try that.
It was on Fall Niven's own website. What you on about?
It didn't turn up.
Did you look up X series?
I did.
That's weird because I'm on the website as well, looking at the F1X in LMAX. And it's X dash series. And series is a separate word.
I'm at their website now. What am I looking for exactly? Because they've got spare parts, hunting knives, survival knives.
F1X LMAX. If you look up F1X in LMAX, I can't imagine it wouldn't come up. And I think the X is
Okay.
literally just this mod to the sheath. You can get other models.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so there's a lever.
Yeah. It's basically a cam. As you
And
twist it, it cams the everything tight. It sounds like you're going to say something.
I was?
Yeah, it sounded like
Yeah,
it.
I was just mentioning that CPM's brought it up twice now. So NL Knives Spine. Apparently, Joe needs to look up the Dagger
Oh.
Country. Apparently, and Joe or Paul's probably on the same bandwagon.
Fair enough.
Also,
Yeah.
I got a hint of rust on my phone, Evan,
Oh
Really?
no!
on both the laminate and the VG10. Both.
Really?
Impressive. Don't they use like?
Hang on.
What's the cladding that they use for their sandmine?
I don't know, but I don't think it's actually rust on either one. I think it's just tree residue.
That's good. I was gonna say because resting the VG1 is bad enough, but man.
It's VG10 on the phone,
Oh, okay.
not VG1 like Cold Steels.
Right. VG10W.
Anyway,
What the hell?
don't worry about it. That was the one that DBK beat up not too long ago. Yeah.
You still can't find it?
Oh
It
no,
was
no,
like-
no.
Okay.
It was
My-
like VG10 with more tungsten or some crap. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, no, I found it. The F1. I had it up on screen for a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Cool.
Sheath, cinching down. Good times.
Did we look at the NL Knives spine?
No, I haven't looked it up yet.
That was just what he was doing when we got rerouted back to me talking about rust on my knife. But anyway, there's not.
Oh.
We're good.
Oh, I see. So we're talking like vaguely similar to a Brian Nadeau. Shit. Nemesis. Folding dagger. That's cool. That's pretty cool. I like that inlay.
I'm into it. Is that actually markings on the blade, or is it like a "don't steal my goddamn photo"?
Custom Damascus dagger blade.
There you go.
It looks like they've got. There's patterning on the inside grooves of the handle. What the hell's going on there?
You know.
No, I don't. Probably some fancy inlay work from the looks of things. That's pretty goddamn
I'm into
neat.
that.
Yeah. Sold out. What were these things going for?
All the buccarinos.
Probably.
Every single one.
Well, custom two
Look at that
bearing
thing.
system. Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't deserve it. Just probably out of my price range. Do you see what I buy?
Do you see the type of titanium we settle for? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, super cool. Thanks for putting it on the radar. If I ever see one horribly thrashed and at a decent discount, I might pick it up.
Horribly thrashed.
Well,
Might
God
look into
knows I can't afford this new. Oh,
Might look into NL knives a little bit more and see what else is out there. Yeah, because fit and finish is pretty for sure.
Come on, Dennis, you're not into this.
oh, look at
Yeah.
the clip.
I don't Italian bushcraft. I real bushcraft.
Oh. Don't make me bring a dagger camping. I don't want to do it. I don't want to carry the weight.
That's a goddamn line. You know it.
You
That
have
dagger
to
weighs next to nothing.
lie in the bed you make your choices with. That was a sentence. Shut up.
I ain't gonna do it. I ain't bringing a neck knife at all this time. I didn't use it last time.
I see. Machine. Anyway, continue on.
Yeah.
I think
It's 10-9. I got catfish
look.
calling my name.
they took. Really? Anyway.
Tell them to stop.
Having catfish for dinner.
The good times, good times. Just for the record, someone took the ribbing off of your Anthem clip and put it on this NL knives.
Put some peen on it.
Oh, don't talk about putting peen on things.
Can't stop me.
I wish I
It
could.
also looks like one of the blunted spears that the Viking reenactment boys use as well.
A little bit.
Suspiciously look like one of those, but also phallic, and I make fun of them for that. Anyway, so
Listen here, Dick Spear.
it's-
I didn't
That's-
really
that's-
expect that to rhyme.
that's flying Dick Spear to you. It's
It's better than Mr. Dick Spear.
Better than spear dick. Anyway.
You don't go to 10 years of Dick Spear college. You'll
10
master-
years.
Mr. Dick Spear.
Not a 2-week bullshit course in some guy's backyard. A 10-year course.
Yeah.
That's,
It's worse than
that's
a
Dr.
doctorate.
Dick Spear. Fuck.
Dude,
That
Dr.
sounds
Dick
like
Spear.
The worst superhero of all time.
I mean, I'd read that.
Dr. Dick Spear.
I would read that comic with a horrified expression on my face, I'm sure, but I'd read that comic.
I'm pretty sure
Just curious
Hancock.
as to what the powers are.
I'm
really?
pretty sure Hancock was still worse. But anyway.
It's not great. Anyway, I think that's enough bullshit for one knife.
All right.
Get it?
sir.
Because really talked about the one knife. Anyway.
So thanks to the Cutting Edge for having this knife at a very, very, very reasonable price.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I'm pretty sure you can get it online. I don't know.
I'm pretty
It's
sure.
available.
Only time will tell. I'm pretty sure it's up already. So yeah.
Yeah. Almost cut myself.
Stop trying to cut yourself.
You can't stop me.
Once
You're
again, I wish I could.
Yeah, but you can't.
Look, a Damascus skyline.
Calvin. Hello.
Hello.
You can't retract your birthday cake now, bud.
Oh, everyone saw it.
Birthday cake. Is someone having a birthday? Some bitch.
Birthday cake went away, thumbs up came in. I'm into it. Anyways, it's that time of the night, I think.
It is. Things are getting silly. We should cut it short.
Indeed.
There's nothing for 671-TZ. Oh, my web guy is gonna hear about this tomorrow.
Is there really not?
We've had that knife up for far too long for it not to be on our website.
He's
No
doing it
kidding.
wrong.
We
Oh,
have
wait.
stuff on our website that we don't have in store.
Oh.
What's going on?
I have to put M671 again. My web guy. Why can't I just put 671? Your search filters need to be worked on. But
Oh,
yes,
shit. Oh,
we do
shit.
have it as an M671 on our website. Thank you. Here for order right now. Very reasonable price. Sweet knife. I mean, Paul bought one. One of the three of us approve enough to actually own the damn thing.
But
it's
it's
not
saying a
wor-
lot considering our
it's-
recent reviews.
my next right-hand carry is going to be a Semenza, so screw you guys.
That's probably the better choice.
Probably.
For 4 times the price. It's 4. Let's do it. It's true. It's a true story. Anyway, thank some other people. Damn it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Instagram,
Mr. President.
for
Mr. President.
thank you, Instagram, for following us. And by that I mean go fucking follow us. Do it. Go.
Instagram followed us. That's
All of them.
Dude, Instagram keeps trying to get me to see their like Instagram's picture of the day, and I can't explain to you how little I've ever cared about their pictures. I would rather chew my own ears off.
Well, Instagram's sad that you don't care. It just wants to be loved like everyone else on Instagram, okay?
Too bad.
Too bad.
Including Instagram.
Come check us out. We're neat.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture of the day. And by that, I mean, Paul, you should post something every once in a while.
He'll post a picture one day.
Speaking of, where did those even go? Jesus Christ, I had a giveaway somewhere. There's. Speaking of Instagram, there's things. There's things. That's a fantastic torque screwdriver, by the way. And Savivi, if you don't know what it is, go back and watch old videos because we said what it was several times. It's a riffle.
This has been going on far too long.
I guess also, speaking of going on far too long, thanks to everyone who participates in subscribing on Patreon. There is a thank you coming back one day soon, hopefully. We'll talk about that after the
We've
live
talked 2023, bro. 2023.
Well, I mean,
That's
time and place.
If I'm being honest. I guess I did say Christmas 2023 though, so that gives us some time.
Like, that's a year and a half. Shit, dude.
I'm into it.
We can make some fancy colors out of that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you to everyone who is subscribing. We just all the money going to, is just going to go right back to you guys as a thank you for everything. So, also YouTube, like, subscribe, share videos. We're slumping a little bit. We lost a couple of viewers. Going to try to gain a couple viewers. Maybe Instagram social media is a good way to gain a couple viewers. Just gonna say little beginning, middle, and end. And by that I mean beginning, because we don't have enough for the middle of the end yet.
Justin.
What?
Said it was Justin. He just left.
Justin.
He's done.
He claims to be coming back. He's not.
Have a good stream, guys. I'm out.
Yes.
That sounds
unsubscribe.
That sounds on par for the course for sure. So, have we thanked everyone?
I think
Joe,
so.
did you have anyone else to thank?
No.
No, I'm not thanking anyone. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been a blast. It's nice to review a night that, for the most part, we actually like.
I think we all like this one. I think no one bitched too much. I mean,
No. I had a lot of nitpicks, but it's all nitpicks. It's a good night.
complete upgrade is a bold statement on their website.
It absolutely is.
It's
But-
like 4/5 a complete upgrade.
It's like 3/5. Like you, it's like someone tried to split a chicken, but they were closed one eye. It's like a 70-30 split. That's what kind of chicken we're working with here.
The pocket clip is so bad. It's just not good.
Let's not leap down that rabbit hole again.
Anyway,
No.
thank you to everyone. We will see you guys again next week. Yeah, me and Paul are going to be tired because we're going to go play in the bush for a couple days.
Indeed.
Are you going to baton with that knife? And have
This
some
one? No.
First impressions
but
reviews? Okay.
The Adonis? Yes. I don't want to carry 2 pocket knives out in the bush. That's my gripe. And I want to bring
Well,
the
if you just
Adonis.
put the Adonis on the left hand like every normal person should, then you can just carry that knife on your right pocket and you get away with it. So
You're a monster. Although I definitely do want to catch this in the golden light, the golden hour.
I was
In the
going to say,
ripples?
you know I'm a monster. You've been camping with me. So
Jesus Christ. I don't know what you're implying, but I don't like it.
Good night, everybody.
good night. Guys, have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Peace. He's Dennis Pfeiffer's. I'm the Iron Joe.
Oh yeah, yeah, I am who I am. Don't be preemptively closing me out.
I'm doing it.
Cue me, goddammit. Put me on the queue. 7 out of 10 enthusiasm. I am who I am. I'm Dennis Pfeiffer's guys.
I'm the Iron Joe.
And I'm xl.ca.
Thanks again for joining us. See you next time.
Fuck, the way that night went, I almost got a 7.5 out of 10. Like,